And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I do every day. What's going on? It's Water Cooler Talk Wednesday. And how are you all doing? Today's when we just talk about stuff that's going on in the world, things that are on the news, things that are on social media, things that are on your mind. That's what we do on our Wednesdays. It's a good way to get through the hump day. So how are you all doing? How are you all doing? I hope you are all doing well. And I am. It is hot in New York. For those that don't know, it is hot again in New York. I don't like it. I do not like hot weather. I do not. But this is the last day. This is the last day of the heat in New York City. Now, for you Southerners, it's still going to be hot. It's still going to be hot in the South. And my friends in North Carolina, South Carolina, they're like, whoa. I saw some temperature ranges that were incredible yesterday. And heat indexes at 116, 119 heat index. That's how it makes you feel. So anyway, all those folks out there, stay cool, drink lots of water, drink lots of fluids. I have my fluids right here. And so all is well. There's a ding. I see someone coming up the driveway. There's someone coming up the driveway, a special treat on a Wednesday. Wait, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. I'm going to just answer the door right away. It is Doctor. It is Mr. Chris. It is Mr.
Morning,
Chris.
sir.
What's going on? How are you, sir?
I'm good. I figured I have a little free time. Let me jump on with you this morning.
Well, you have a key, so you just pop on in.
Yeah. I'm good.
You
How are you
have
doing
a
today?
key. I'm trying to get all this stuff together. I sent my lawyer the information that he requires for this sale of this to get everything ready for the contract. And so instead of the closing going to be in September, it's going to be in October. So it'll be instead of
Okay.
September 7th, it's October 7th, most likely. So
Okay.
we'll see how that happens. We'll see. Unless we close it next week, and that would be a whole different story. Well, next week I won't be here. And my lawyer won't be here for the next 2 weeks in August. So
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard next week. It is Martha's Vineyard week next week, and so I'm getting everything tied up so I can get that all done. And so it's going to be a busy week next week. I'm excited about so many cool people that are going to be on the vineyard. So that should be a lot of fun to photograph. And it's really good to be a photographer. You know, if we would just make more
Yeah.
money, that would be even better.
Listen, your lips to God's ears.
Oh, if photographers made more money. Now there are some out there that do make a lot of money.
Yeah, but a lot of them, they've been in the game for a very long time. They've paid a lot of dues, and
yes, a
you know,
lot
you
of
have those
dues.
rare few, just like in any other field, that strike gold and are just that lucky.
Yeah, not
But
everyone can be an
talented, but
NBA.
talented.
Not everyone can be an NBA basketball player. Everyone else is
Yeah.
just a basketball player, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see. So that's what's going on. Let's see who's in the building. In the building is our Brian Young. Happy Wednesday, he says, fam. And with the silver goes to Hannah. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. How are you? And we got the wonderful, marvelous Chris R in the building. She says, good morning. And make sure if you're in the building, make sure you are hitting the likes. And then we have the wonderful Lisa. She says, good morning, everyone. And then we got the Sunny Boy saying, hump day. It's hump day. You're welcome to come
Goes
on,
by so
Adrian, if you want to.
fast.
If you want to come on, Adrian, you're more than welcome to. You can just scan that code and come on. And there's G. I sent an invitation if you want to come on too. So you are more than welcome as well. So GGG is in the building. She says, hello. Kimmy Kim is in the building. She says, morning. And Lisa says, yes, it's blazing here. I did not go for my walk this morning. I was like, when I woke up this morning, it was already 82 degrees or 83 degrees. I was like,
We're not that
not
bad. It's 88
not
here
going
today,
out.
right
Oh,
now.
that's too hot to start the day. Too hot to go for a walk,
The
at least
high
for
today
me.
is 93.
Oh, really? It's
But
lower there than here. But here in New York's
yeah, it is. It's only gonna be
95 or
93
94.
today.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's all in the
depending.
same ballpark, and it's that
Yeah.
humidity that's really been doing it. Here,
And
hold on. I gotta see. I have a secret. If you've been following me on Instagram and my stories, you know what my secret is. I take my lunch break at the pool now. I go
because now
sit in the pool
well, you
for
have a
about an
great,
hour.
you have a pool. You have a pool.
Yes, I'm taking full advantage of it. And the nice thing about it is I've actually taken meetings in the pool. Some have known, some have not.
Oh, bro, I tell you, I mean, well, that's what happens when you got high living in Delaware.
I mean, yeah. You know what? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, indeed. So who else? Let's see what else is going on here. I see here. Good morning. Good mornings. Good morning. Good mornings. Oh, I must have missed it. I didn't know that you accepted an offer. Congratulations. Yes. We're still there's a we're moving through this fine line. So today is our last, I do believe, is our last open house. So this evening we're having an open house for anyone that is interested and that want to see the house in the evening as we're going into the sunset. So we're going to open up the house for that tonight, this evening. So that's happening. But yeah, after that,
That's really
I'm
cool.
just accepting. I mean, it's $25,000 less than what I had before, but you know what? At this point, I don't care. I just want out. I just want out. Hopefully,
You're
you're not
over
hearing
it
me
now.
say,
It's been a long process.
I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done. I just need to get out. I just out. I just want my
Yeah,
money and run, run, run. I got too many. I want to hang out by the pool.
I hear you. I hear you.
I just want to hang out by the pool. He says Pops is playing a game. Shh. Well, my broker says we are until we have the contract signed, we can still keep the open house going. Once we go into contract, then everything closes.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
haven't they haven't signed the contract yet, so we are still open to do the open house. And he might do another one this weekend. Who knows? He has the key. Even if I'm away, he'll be here doing his thing. And Thomas is a good broker so far. Oh, she
You're a
said
broker.
she meant NC, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina is hot. Bryson's in the building. Bryson says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, everybody? Happy Hump Day. We in the last days in July, heading to
Speaking of
August."
Bryson, our media correspondent,
Yes,
I
the
went to go
media
see
as socialite.
Fantastic Four last week. What was it Friday? No, we saw it Sunday.
How was
I
Fantastic
had
Four?
so here's the thing. I wasn't keen on going to see it. Ronald wanted to go see it, and I'll go with you. I enjoyed it. It was so good.
Really? What was so good about it?
Yes. So
What
here's the
was so
thing.
good about it?
I think that the trailers that they released for this movie did not do it justice. It had a great story, great plot, great acting by the actors, and it was like the movie they should have made originally for this. It was
Really?
so good. And of course, like with any other those Marvel movies, they set up the next movie. You have to
Mhm.
stay and watch the end credits, and then there's another little like end credit, which wasn't really much of anything, but um, just really, really good. Good action sequences. Sometimes when you go and see those action movies, like even still today, like the CGI isn't the best. This was really good. I
Really?
walked out there like, okay, I'm pleasantly surprised how much I like this movie. It was really good. So this is a 4 out of 4 stars for me. Go see it if you get a chance. Really, really good.
Hannah says, Ron, you are welcome to come sit by our pool anytime. And you know what? I am look, I'm taking down all the folks that want me to come visit. That's it. I'm just gonna be living out of everybody's spare room. And so one of my friends said, "So where you gonna be living?" I said, "I don't have a place. I mean, I'm going to apply for citizenship at another country. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to be living there. I got 2 years to decide that. That's my limit. 2 years to
Yeah.
see the world, to hang out with my friends all over the globe, extra spare rooms in their living rooms, wherever they want to put me. I will be just enjoying my time and getting my book together and doing the things I need to do. So I'm excited about that. So Hannah, I may put that on. I don't send me an invitation unless you know I'm coming, because I'll come. My friends will tell you. My friend said, "Hey, come to South Africa," and guess what? Ron was on a plane to South Africa. So I am not one to stand back, but I will go. Hey, Kimmy Kim is in the building. She says, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it because I agree the trailers didn't entice me. I didn't like the
Not
trailers.
at all. The trailers
Not,
were hard. I mean, when you look at the trailer and look at the movie, it's almost like it's two different things. Yes, there are things in the trailer from the movie, but the trailer did not tell a story at all.
mm,
And it just looked like, but it was actually really good.
really?
Yes, they set up Avengers Doomsday.
He just says, I'm more beach than pool. But at the end of the day, he's a fellowship with fam and friends guy. Yes, I am. I will go wherever my friends are, wherever they leads. That's right. He knows me very well. He knows me.
I
He
would hope
knows me better
so.
than y'all. He knows me better than most. Yes, he does. That's why he's the executor. So Hannah says, Ron, you can stay in the pool house. Oh, really? Or
Oh,
the
honey,
main
I think you
house.
just got
You
a new
decide.
housemate.
Oh, writing it down. Hannah. I'll be doing touch base daily from Hannah's backyard while she's doing her gardening. Yes, I'm putting it on the list,
Live
Hannah.
from the
You know,
pool, it's
you're not,
Touch Base Daily.
from the pool, from Hannah's pool. Nice. I like that. That's on the list. Brian says, I saw Fantastic Four Saturday, going to see it a second time to catch all the great retro futuristic design elements.
Yeah, like that was another part of it. Like there was like the cityscape that they created, like it was just very cohesive and it was nostalgic. It was very
Yes.
nostalgic and it was just really, really good.
Okay.
I get
Okay.
what Brian's saying.
Maybe I have to put it on the list to go see, because
Yeah,
it's just not. One of my buddies was like, let's go see Fantastic Four." I was like, it's not my kind
I
of
was like that
thing.
too. I
I
was like
mean,
that too. Actually, Ron,
the ads did nothing for me.
no, not at all.
The
Whoever
trailer.
cut those trailers needs to be fired because the trailers for me was just like, I'm not going to see this. I don't want to see it. And then I think also what didn't help is that the last two Fantastic Four movies were horrible. They were
Yeah,
horrible.
that's why I didn't go.
The
Those
first
were,
one was good.
they looked like
The,
trash
the first one was
cartoons.
good, but the
Yes.
second two really, really bad. This movie redeemed this. This is the movie that should have been from the very beginning. It was
Wow.
so good.
But isn't it owned by someone else? Then back then it was owned by Fox, and now it's owned by
It's Disney, Marvel,
Disney.
Disney. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
before it was owned by Fox, I think it was.
I believe you're right.
I think Disney bought it from Fox. Yeah.
But yeah,
So
just so good. So go see it.
okay, I may have to go see it. I might have to see it. And Lisa says, and Adrian, most guys are more pool guys. Us women just like to lay out to tan, snack, and cocktails. It knows it's generalization, but I haven't known too many guys who are dying to do that. I like both. I do like both, but
See,
I
I'm not a
love the beach. I mean, I don't. And when I say that, there's a parentheses around. Sometimes I like the beach in the fall. I like the beach leading in the end of spring. I like the beach. Um, yeah, usually the fall.
see.
I love going to the
Here's
beach in the
here's my
fall.
thing with the beach. I'm from the islands, and I know what the island beaches are compared to the beaches in the U.S. I've never been in the water at the beach on Long Island. I've only been to in the water in a beach in Florida. And that's still like, okay, it's close enough to the Caribbean that we're going to dip our feet in. But like the Caribbean waters are the best beaches to ever go to. I have to say, I probably said it on this channel before. I love my Jamaican beaches, but the best beach and the best waters I've ever been to were in Aruba.
The best beach I've been to is Barbados. Ooh,
Mm.
the water is so clear. It's like bath
Yes.
water. It's just like,
It
eh,
feels like bath water. It's warm and it's just like
yes,
I can just sit out here all day. And
yeah,
you go out, it feels like a mile, and the water's only waist deep
yeah.
in
It's
Aruba.
so nice. I mean,
You can
and
see all the fish swimming around you.
so I understand. Once I went to the Caribbean and saw what the water looks like, then I understood why my Caribbean friends hate New York
Yes.
beaches,
Yes. That
because
is dirty
I would
water.
be scared if I
Yes.
saw that dark water.
Yes.
If you
You
come from the
can't see
Caribbean, you
you
could
can't see your
see to your
feet.
feet.
Yes.
And
And you could go out forever and you can still see. You see all the fish around you, you see everything, the plant life, everything.
oh, Adrian says fancy. This is Adrian's fancy. Turks and Caicos, best beach.
Yeah.
Hey, DS is in the building. What's up, DS? Mr. Food Plane is
Cabo
in the
has nice
building.
beaches too, by the way.
Which one?
Cabo. Cabo San
I,
Lucas
I've never been
in
there. Never been
Mexico.
there. Oh, well, I've been to. You know what was a good beach? Um, was it Carmel or something like that, off the Yucatan? That was good when I was in Mexico. Is it Carmel? Am I saying it right?
Anything that touches like the Pacific and the Caribbean
Caribbean,
Gulf
yeah, that was
area,
good beach too.
good beaches.
But I have to tell you, my favorite beach so far right now, and because I haven't been to too many Caribbean islands, is the Barbados beach, and it is written as one of the best beaches in the world. So I will go for it.
Yeah.
Now I see here Hannah says the best beach I've been to is in the Caribbean. I just want
Yeah.
the Caribbean sand under my feet.
Yes.
And
I
Food's
have.
Plane says, I love the beach. However, it's been way too hot out there for me and humid too. Yes, I don't like the beach in the summertime. It's too hot. I don't like to be in the open sun in the summertime.
That's why you gotta get an umbrella or a cabana.
Walking around like a Japanese
Well, you know,
lady.
you no, you rent the little umbrellas that they have at the beach. You stick in the sand, and you cover yourself, and
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the
Let me
ones
tell you
that
something. I have my summer color now, but I do not like to be out in the sun. So, like when I go to the pool, we have cabanas here. I sit underneath that, and when I come out the water, I put the towel over me, so I'm not sitting there burning, and I'm spraying
Oh.
the suntan on me. Spray.
Okay, let's bring our wonderful Gwendolyn into the conversation because she's a traveler. This is the cruiser. She is a cruiser.
Yes,
So
come on in.
she's been to all the world beaches. Come on, Gwendolyn.
Those are lies.
Come on, Gwendolyn. You gotta definitely chime in on the beaches. This is your conversation.
Well, I agree with Chris. I do know, like, we were down in St. Martin and it was so hot. I had a towel over me. I was like, dude, even with the sunscreen, like, you will burn still.
Very
Mm,
fast.
So I'm like,
mm.
I need to cover my feet, maybe cover all of me with something because it's just really hot. But I like the beaches in St. Thomas and St. Martin. Really pretty
Mm.
water.
They
You got
have pretty
turtles,
beaches too.
fish, and everything. They're swimming around you.
Yes.
So it's
And you
quite
know,
nice.
for those that don't know, Gwendolyn likes to get her beach on. She
Oh,
gets her
I'm gonna get some
she
beach on.
gets her outfit ready. She gets her hands all done with all the little what do you
Henna,
call it? Henna,
henna.
Henna. I
not
love
Hannah,
henna.
the henna. She gets the henna
Henna.
done. She gets her bathing suit, and she likes to stop
I have my
traffic while
bathing suit
she's.
and my bikini. So I'm gonna wear two piece.
Oh yeah, she.
Come on now.
One
Come on
one time
now.
she sent me a photo. I was like, Gwendolyn.
Scandalous.
I
Scandalous.
said
You're,
exactly.
you're
Scandalous.
the
I
work
said, "Where's
husband.
Mr. Jack?" What's that, buddy?
I said, you're the work husband.
I said,
Yeah.
but I went like that. I said, "Where's Mr. Jack?"
He probably took the picture.
Yeah,
He probably took the
that part right
picture.
there.
Thank you. So I was like, really?
Who took that picture? I was like, Gwendolyn. No, Gwendolyn knows how to show off. She knows how to show off on the beach. I tell you that.
Yeah.
She
Come on now.
loves the beach. And I was like,
But I
yo,
see that you posted that you're doing your workouts on the inside right now because it's too hot to be outside.
You know what? Yes. Okay, so I got up this morning. I did get my row in. I got my 30 minutes on the water rower. And then I
Okay.
said, I got to get a few more steps. So I got up this morning, put on the sunscreen and a long sleeve sports shirt, and got my 5 miles in before the sun and really started to rise.
Okay.
So if I get out, I got to get out early
Early.
when the sun is not beating on us, because it is hot.
When
I
the
think we're doing
deer
like
are out.
106 today. I think we're doing 106 today.
Ooh,
Jesus.
you said 106?
I
You
want
can
to
keep
say
that.
I want to say that
Oh,
that's going to be our
Lord.
You can
high
keep
today.
that.
But yeah,
This,
no, I like to do my rowing and the Pilates, and
yeah, you do
'cause
it. You
it's
do your
hot.
thing. I got out yesterday. Yesterday, I put in 4.5 miles. Monday, I put in 4.5 miles.
I've been
But
so
when I
bad
woke up this
lately.
morning, I was like, maybe it's a good day for a rest.
Well, I sat down
It
yesterday
was
because
too hot this morning. Too hot.
Yeah.
DS says, yes, 105 index in the Northeast. It is hot. It is.
Yeah.
But guess what, y'all? Not like the South. Tomorrow is going no higher than 70 degrees.
Where?
No, sorry, Friday. Friday is 70 degrees.
Hold on. Let me
Is
check
there a
this out.
storm moving through?
Can't wait. Well, you
Is
know,
there a storm coming through?
Delaware is not considered the North.
No, you're right. 74 is the high for Friday. And we are still considered the North.
Yeah, you're called the Mid-Atlantic.
74. Yeah, this weekend will be actually pretty nice. 74,
It's
78,
gonna be
79.
gorgeous in New York.
That's my type of
I'm
weather.
just gonna be I'm gonna lose my mind on Friday. I'm just gonna be like, I gotta get out. I'm gonna be like a jailbird, set free. And then also the weather here, the stretch, 7 days straight, just low 80s and low humidity. I am ready. I am ready. But guess what? So if it's going to be in the low 80s here, it's going to be in the
cooler up there.
70s in
Martha's
Martha's
Vineyard.
Vineyard.
Yeah.
Usually it's about a 6-degree difference.
Yeah.
But the nights get colder. So we won't need air conditioning.
I
We
don't
just
mind.
open up the windows.
Open the
And the
windows.
wind just blows in, and I'll sleep under my blanket.
Find you a fire pit to go sit at nighttime.
We need to find a fire pit on the beach.
And a nice glass of wine.
Ooh, yes, say it, Chris. Say
Nice
it.
red.
Ooh.
Coming to tonight.
Adrian says storms tomorrow. Yes, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
well, to get to that cool weather, we're going to have some severe weather tomorrow, and it's going to be dangerous in New York. They said the cold front that's coming in is a very slow moving cold front. So we're going to get lots of low pressures riding on that cold front, and some of them will stay in place. So we may see some scenes like we saw a couple of weeks ago where the subways were flooded here in New York. There could be repeats this on tomorrow. So
that's not global warming. That's just normal.
Oh,
yeah,
no, this is the new. Climate change is not real. It's not real. Lisa says, I wanted to go to Wellington today, but there are thunderstorms, so I have to push it to another day. I love Wilmington, right? There you go. There you go. I love it. You know, I told Chris as soon as I sell his apartment, I said he's got to make room. I said there's a room with my name on it to bother him and Ron. Be the pesty friend from New York. And Adrian says, I'm flying out just before the storm. Lucky you. Yes, right.
Very lucky.
Listen, he's living his best life this summer because I've seen him in
Adrian is living his best life.
Go for it.
I'm living vicariously through him, but he's kind of like living vicariously through where I've been. No.
That was slight shade,
he was in Barcelona, Spain. I was in Madrid, Spain. So, but he still got the taste of Spain. And I was like, did you try this? Did you see this? Did you go this place? Did you try
So
the
human Bucky
tacos?
just
Did you do
living it up.
Oh, I get so excited when it comes to travel. And when Adrian's traveling someplace I've been, I get excited about it. And he does
Yeah.
the same. Like one time he was in Malta and he says, Pop, this is your kind of place. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, the archaeology and and the history, blah, 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 blah. And he says, you could come. I'm going to be working. Come on out. Come on over. I booked my flight and got on a plane, head to Malta. Yes, I did. That's when I stayed in Italy. I was like, stay in Milan for a couple of days, go to Malta for a couple of days, and go back to Milan for a couple of days. That's how I roll. Because you can't go, you
I
can't do
loved
Europe
Italy.
without doing 2 countries.
Yeah, they're very
At
close.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, at
close.
least.
Yeah.
Catch the
Yes.
train.
Mhm.
Oh, it was like a cab ride. I just got on the German airplane and just took German airplane but the Germans love Malta. Malta is one of Germany's favorite places, tourist attractions,
Mm,
which I did not know until I went to Malta. It's a beautiful place.
interesting.
Gwendolyn,
Oh wait, hold on. I think we have someone else at the door.
there's someone else at the door? Wait.
Ross went on his job.
It's great balls of fire.
Oh my gosh.
I said,
Good
Ron,
morning,
is it
ladies.
oh, my artwork looks crooked.
You got new art.
Just a little bit.
It looks crooked. It's a little crooked.
It's
Nothing like a
okay.
model
Not
to show
everybody in
you.
this room is straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little gay
I got
humor.
it.
Chris, the dump.
Of course, I was sitting in the background listening to you all and laughing about going to the beaches because beaches are not my thing.
Really?
Oh
Oh,
no,
wow.
I'm the one on the beach with sand with sneakers on. That's like I don't want sand on my feet. You all see
I
those
love
pictures?
that
I
feeling.
just go and sit someplace and watch the sunset and take pictures of the sunset.
Oh, I love the
Oh,
What
sand on
better
my
place than the
feet.
beach?
Yeah.
I love the beach for sunrise, especially on the East Coast. Like that's what I go to the beach for.
Sunrise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sunrise is nice.
Because
Ron, sand is not my
we
friend.
don't get the West Coast sunset unless
No.
there are certain particular places on the East Coast. Like if you go to Provincetown in Massachusetts off of Cape Cod, you will get a West Coast sunset every evening.
Unless also if you go to like Tampa on the west coast of Florida, which I've done, I've seen they have really nice sunsets over there as well.
Yeah.
So there's not too many places, but the ones that do, you get a West Coast sunset on the East Coast.
Sand is not my friend.
Anyway,
Since childhood,
Love
only
sand.
like my family, my siblings would walk outside without their shoes on. I had to have on shoes. That was like the worst thing. And then the only place I would take, so there's like when you get close to the water's edge, it turns to silt. The sand there is silt. It was like worn down sand. The only place I would take off my shoes was at my grandfather's house because his entire yard was made out of silt because it used to have water in it. But it was no longer had the water, so it was powdery. So that's the only place I would take my shoes off. So sand is hot, it's gritty.
It is hot.
And it yeah, I can't take it.
Well, there's a couple of headlines. There's a couple of social media postings that I want to bring to your attention, and we can have a conversation. We can do it in let's do 7 minute spins on social media. So I'm going to bring one to you that I just want you to say, and I want to say, I mean, this one really, I've been saying this for a long time, but I like it when someone else does say it. Here we go. Where is our little Tabitha, I should say. Tabitha, hold on. Let me get Tabitha holding on there. Hold on, Tabitha. We got you here.
Tabitha Brown.
Tabitha speaks politics. Here she goes.
I saw this.
Mitch, we have to bring slavery back. Those were the good old days. Kevin, how will we do that? There's no way we can do that. Mitch, black people won't do it, but white people will. Kevin, how will we get white people to be slaves? That sounds ridiculous. Mitch, we have to get rid of the separation of church and state. We must have state-funded religious schools. Kevin, I don't see where you're getting at. Mitch, those schools will have work programs for 4th through 8th graders. Kevin, I think I see where you're going here. How is that going to work? Mitch, we get the kids to pick all the produce as a part of their work program to teach them the values of good old-fashioned blue-collar labor and the bounty of God. Kevin, I don't think that anyone will go for that. Mitch, it's all about grooming. Start in the 1st grade, and by 4th grade, they'll be ready to do it. Kevin, but we already have people to pick the produce. Mitch, we have to finish the wall. Kevin, no way that's going to happen. Mitch, we find better ways to get the immigrants out of the United States. Kevin, like doubling ICE. Mitch, yes. Kevin, this will be too hard, and we'll be too busy trying to sustain this over long periods of time and generations. Mitch, no, we get rid of the abortion laws in the United States and we make it mandatory that all 8th grade females be impregnated in order to graduate. Kevin, like replacing the crops. Ha ha ha, pun intended. Also, Kevin, I will work on getting the abortion banned. You work on state-funded religious schools. Mitch, we don't have to do either. Lindsay and I took care of that with the new SCOTUS.
Let that sit.
Where did they get this transcript from?
This transcript is supposed to have been from an alleged leaked conversation between Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy on July 2022.
Okay.
But
we're not surprised.
I'm not. When none of us here are surprised. If this conversation is real.
Yeah, and and I can't remember what year my husband told me, but there was a program they tried. I don't know if it was in the 60s or whatever, but they took these 17-year-old white boys out to farms where they had them work in the fields for free. They bust them out there. Of course,
there's a movie based on it as well. There's a movie based on something like that as well.
And of course, they didn't like it. The majority of them didn't like it. And then, they told them they were going to pay them. So at the end of the program, they didn't get paid, but they tried it when they were 17 years old. And I'm assuming now that they said they know that didn't work. So you got to go younger. So now you have these indoctrination centers. And, in Project 2025, they talked about the American schools. They talked about creating these schools.
Did.
They talked about disbanding the Department of Education, funneling money to home schools, charter schools, and now, religious schools can get money. So that's what these are. And we have to but people have to understand this has nothing to do with Christianity, quote unquote Christianity. This is not about that. This is about something totally different. And they have to have a workforce. They get rid of all of the immigrants that they're trying to get rid of. They don't have a workforce. And so they already said, we're not going for it. They know we'd be out there burning fields down. But so they're going to indoctrinate this other group of people, these young white people, which is sad.
But the other part of the story is that remember, the Constitution does have a loophole. If you can create laws and then arrest Black people and incarcerate them, then that's free labor, right? So that's free labor.
Loophole is the 13th Amendment,
right? So I mean, that's what it's. But it's a loophole on slavery. You can still slavery. People think slavery was totally 100% abolished. It wasn't. You got a little loophole. If you incarcerate someone, if someone commits a crime, then they can be used for slavery. So,
states like Alabama, they're already renting them out to businesses and paying them low wages, making them pay for their uniforms, pay for their food. They're already renting them out.
Isn't that the whole concept of the chain gang? Remember the chain gangs? They would, incarcerate people to take care of the roads, to take care of some farming. They would lease them out for farming. We also see in California that they lease them out for the fires and stuff like that. So it's not far-fetched. This is real. It's already happening. It's not something that's like, and then We have here in New York State where they used to make the license plates back in the
Yeah.
day here in New York. I don't know if they do it now, but they used to make the license plates here. So
the historic
they're
chain
not
gangs,
far
however, were
fetched.
not leased out. They were not
Right.
leased because
Right.
they used to come by my house in Alabama to
Mhm.
cut the grass. They used sling blades
Mhm.
to cut the grass, and they had the state troopers or the police officers on their horses with their guns,
Yes.
and they passed our house every
Yes.
year. So they weren't leased out. They were just brought out there to do the
Yeah.
road work. So
Well, yeah, different states were doing it different ways, but yeah.
yeah, but
And they get
I mean, but
paid.
they know as many workers as they're going to need.
Mhm.
They're not gonna have that prison population as many people to go out there and do it. So, but they also know that they can groom, and they mentioned grooming. You can groom people to what you want them to do. They're already, you have states like, I don't know if you all remember, Kentucky was trying to make it legal for men to be able to marry those young girls, and someone got wind of it, talked about it, they stopped it. Florida has already changed the labor age for
The
children.
labor age for kids.
They
Yes,
already did
Florida.
that. So they're working towards all of these things. We just have to pay attention to it and know that that's what's out there. And the people who need to pay attention, unfortunately, so many of them have been roped in, already in the process of being groomed to do whatever the people tell them to do.
Yeah, it's something to think about. But when I saw this, I was like, I've been saying this for the longest, and we've heard it also in some of their media. When you go to Fox or you go to different other places, and you see these people talking, or these right wingers, and they are there's a reason why they're getting rid of the immigrants, right? So the immigrants are gone. White people, black people, people of color, people that are not white men are left to do the work. That's why they're getting rid of all of the healthcare. That's why they're getting rid of all the stuff that will sustain you, because at the end of the day, you're going to need your plantation or whatever that word means in the future to take care of you. And you're going to sign on and
They
give
really
them your
haven't thought this all
permission.
the way through, though.
They haven't.
They really haven't.
Oh no,
they haven't.
there's going to be an uprising. I believe America will. I mean, when America really sees what's going on, then they will, as Churchill always said, one thing about America is guaranteed to be wrong most of the time. I'm paraphrasing, but they always wake up at the last ring of the bell. They will wake up. Americans will wake up and say, wait a minute, you just enslaved my neighbor. And then they say, wait a minute, they're going to come for us next. Once they see the population really getting in gear to all this craziness.
So Ron, I'm going to push you a little bit on that. Because
you're going to push this?
Yeah, I'm going to push you a little bit. Because I hear people so often just say Americans. We're talking specifically about white Americans. I think we need to be real specific, because we already are. The Black population already knows. We've been through this. It's nothing, like I said, there's nothing that can happen now that Black Americans haven't experienced. So we're really specifically talking about white Americans and those people who need to come out of their dream state and face the reality that if they don't do anything, they are going to be the ones from the poem where they're going to turn around and there's no one to help them, because the only thing that's all that they want left is them anyway, right? And the real reason you talk about why they want immigrants out of the country, the real reason they want them out is because of 2040, when it's predicted they would no longer be the majority in this country.
That's right.
That's at the forefront of all of this, is that 2040 deadline that says if you don't make some of these drastic changes, we're gonna not be the majority in this country. And I told my husband the other day, very few people paid attention to the video, but there is a video where Joe Biden himself says that. There is a video where he actually talks about, he referenced 2040 and the white people population in this not being the majority. So that's their fear. But that's, it's like the ones that want to have these all white communities. Okay, you do that. But then we're not coming in there to work.
That part.
We're not coming to her. We're not going
Well,
to get the child.
does anyone else have any more on this subject?
I do.
Anyone else?
Really quick. So
And then
this
we'll go
morning
to
as
the
I
next
was
video.
walking, what was that?
I said, and then I'm going to the next video.
Okay. So this morning as I was walking, there's this older white lady who had her phone playing, and the phone was telling her, like her podcast, whatever, was saying that you should not look down on people who don't have the same ideas as you, and understand that God has made everybody and everybody may be different, but that these are all still your people. And so I'm walking past her thinking, well, what happened to her that she felt the need to play this particular message, or maybe it was next in line? But I thought, well, as old as you are, like, shouldn't you already know that? And so as I'm thinking about her podcast, what I heard, I started going through just the whole idea of, as ICE is rounding up people, disappearing people, and what's left afterwards. And my whole thought was, okay, well, when you take all these folks out, that only means that somebody has to do all of this stuff. And I just don't think people have really, I don't think white people have really realized that, because at some point you got to know who's going to do it. Like, who's going to do all the things that you don't want to do. We have promoted the idea of being engineers, lawyers, doctors, all this stuff, and we look down upon the teachers and everything else. So who's going to do that stuff? Like who? I don't know if they really thought about that.
They didn't.
Well,
but they're not that bright
because they're in them, they're into themselves. They're selfish, or they're just too busy in the cares of life to think about it. Some people are just busy. They're just trying to survive, as they say, trying to survive. Anyway, here's another one. Here's another video I want to bring to your attention. Let's see what you guys have to say about this one. Okay, here we go. I love this one.
No Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only.
Okay. So weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community. Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys.
History says otherwise. Every time Black Americans built thriving independent towns, white racists didn't celebrate it. They bombed it. They burned it down, or they buried them under lakes. Greenwood, Tulsa, Black Wall Street. Greenwood wasn't just doing well, it was booming. Doctors, lawyers, pilots, banks, theaters, luxury shops. White racists couldn't stand to see Black excellence thrive on its own terms. So in 1921, they dropped bombs, set fires, murdered people in the streets. Survivors said they saw white neighbors wearing their stolen clothes the next day. Rosewood, Florida. Rosewood had 2-story homes, a school, a post office, businesses. A lie about a white woman led to a massacre. White mobs destroyed the whole town. Oscarville, Georgia, now Lake Lanier. Black farmers owned land, made money, raised families. White residents didn't like that. So in 1912, they terrorized every Black person out of town. Decades later, the whole community was flooded to build Lake Lanier. Their homes are still at the bottom. Seneca Village, NYC, now Central Park. This was a stable, middle-class neighborhood. Black families owned land, voted, and lived free. Then the city tore it down to build a park. The land is now worth hundreds of millions. The original owners got nothing. Colaja in Susanna, Alabama, now Lake Martin. Colaja had its own school, businesses, and even a railroad. Susanna had homes, churches, and deep roots. Both towns were drowned, literally, under Lake Martin to build a hydroelectric project. And today, people jet ski over the bones of a Black legacy. Vanport, Oregon, built during World War II. It was one of the only places Black people could live due to racist housing laws. In 1948, officials intentionally failed to warn Black residents about rising floodwaters. When the dike broke, a wall of water wiped out Vanport in a single day. Over 18,000 residents were displaced. These towns were thriving, innovative, self-sufficient Black communities. And every single time, that success was met with white rage, jealousy, and destruction. Over 200 Black towns destroyed by mobs, policy, bulldozers, and floods. This country never minded Black poverty. It fears Black prosperity.
And there you have it. So Gwendolyn and I were talking about this week, and we were like, and then this video dropped into my lap, and I was like, oh yes, this is gonna be good. Are there any people out there? I would even say, are there any people out there that are mad about these white folks that want to segregate themselves from the rest of us?
No, go be by yourself.
Is there anyone out
They
there
have
angry
to
about that?
White people are mad about it. They are.
Yeah.
White,
Yes, right.
no,
Not
really,
black
no,
people.
really. If you go on LinkedIn, or other places, the only people who are sounding any kind of concerns or are upset are other white people. It's not anybody who has melanin. Because think about it. They like, how do I say this graciously? Because I don't want to cuss today. But in order
What you need me to say for you?
Okay, so in order for this white dream to be realistic, you got to have a villain, and without it, you don't have this hero story. So when all these black folks went out and got their own space and they bombed it, drowned it, all the things, it's because we didn't want to be around them. We weren't trying to be around them. It is white folks who are like, well, what? How come I can't come in? How come I can't be here? They have always had this idea of we should be the center of attention. Now we're in 2025. Don't nobody give a goddamn. And they're like, well, how come y'all not upset? We didn't want to be with you the first time. We didn't ask you for shit. Not one time. That is white people who are upset about, well, we shouldn't have these segregated spaces. Who told you I want to be around you? Who told you I needed your acceptance? Not one person told you that. You told yourself those lies. Don't nobody care. I will gladly have you get a fucking U-Haul, get all your shit, and take every other idiot with you. I am there for that. Where's the GoFundMe for that shit? Because I'll put on some. I'll put 5 on it. I'll put something on it. Ain't nobody mad here.
I thought you weren't going to curse. I thought you weren't going to curse. You didn't want to cuss today.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go to
add a little seasoning to it.
Adrian said,
I love it.
That didn't last long.
It's all right.
Got a little passion.
That was
She just threw a little seasoning in it. All right.
There you go. A little adobo.
I was like, they should pack up. I wish all of them, all of the racist people, all of them, every single one of them will find their little piece of land and lock themselves in it and never
they all
come out.
need to be congregated together on a little island and let their ass survive somewhere in the middle of the Gulf of America. Okay, let them do that over there.
Look,
y'all don't want to be around other people. Go find somewhere where you can be by yourself. Don't nobody want you. Just like Gwendolyn said, F off.
Yes,
indeed. No one cares about them moving out there, and who? I mean, actually, who cares? I mean, there are already communities. I mean, why is it news? There are already communities where they live there. The difference is that what needs to happen in this case is no, we're not helping you. We're not coming to work. We're not gonna get the work passes like they did in South Africa. That's not how it's gonna work. So your wife, their own kids, they're gonna have to do all that stuff. As you have kids, you gotta do everything in the community.
Here goes one last note for this. Go ask those white Afrikaners that got imported into the US how they're doing. Ask them how that's working out for them.
That would be a great
it's not looking too good for those folks that came from South Africa. They haven't found a place for them yet.
They're desperate now.
This
is a conversation.
This really is serious. So I understand that there are people who are like, Black folks come in, Hispanic people come in, people of all these other ethnicities and races come in, and they ruin it for us. There is a show called Behind Mansion Walls. At the end of the day, humans are highly irrational, awful animals. End of story. We know that no matter where you go, if there's a human there is a crime that will be committed. Plain and simple. So you see these people who have these gated communities like, I just can't believe it happened here. Why would you not believe that? Crime happens everywhere. But more importantly, no offense, some of the most heinous, and I said heinous crimes have been committed by white men. I put an emphasis on it, right? Heinous by white men. Okay? That's who you're looking for. When people talk about these predators, these pedophiles, and everything else, look at the history. When you think about people who have been brutalized and some of the most disgusting disgusting acts, period, that you can commit against another human, there is a certain face that goes to it. So if you want to go up in the mountains and do whatever you're doing, fine, have at it. These are the same folks who vote for incest to still be legal. I'm not concerned. Just don't bring none of your bullshit back over here. That's all I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. But that's a serious thing. Like, people really believe, well, if we go get our own thing, we'll be safe. Okay, fine. You know, history has shown otherwise, but please have at it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and-
That's
and
right.
they just
I'm like
We'll
this.
turn on
They
each other
can
in a
have their.
heartbeat.
They can even go to South. You know, back in the day, there was a plan. When I was in high school, the big plan was to take South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, and I think it was one more state. Can't remember what the fourth state was, and make it a white only. Those were supposed to be the white only states. And people
can
were
have that.
packing their bags and
They
getting
have all
stuff
of that.
ready to go to the Dakotas, and I was like, planned failed, but it should have been successful, because it would have been great to have all the freaking races, all of them, just move to South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, live their lives in their own world, stay away from our police
And just put a
departments,
big
stay
ass
away from
fence
our
around
health
them.
care, stay
Yes.
away from the rest of the country. All the racist bigots, they need to go to another place
They
Build
would
a
eat
wall.
themselves
and
alive.
lock them.
They should
Build a wall.
And then
Build
once
a
they
wall.
get there,
There you
we
go.
lock
Build a
them in. We
wall.
just say you're
I-
not allowed
pay
to
for
come
that.
out.
Build a wall. And I think one of the things that's interesting, because
Build
I've
a
seen
wall,
comments on
yes.
other social media sites to what the guy was saying, was interesting.
Yes.
These are relatively young people, right? They have chosen not to know that there were Black communities that were self-sufficient and independent. They've willfully chosen to not know that. There's been enough information out about Greenwood, Oklahoma, out there in Tulsa, to know that. There's been enough information out there. Anyone
Yes.
now that's spouting that they just want to be heard. They just want to say something. And then
They
say
just-
that the Black people don't care. We really don't care.
Black people, you ain't seen not one Black person online saying, "Oh my gosh, they're separating themselves from us." Not one. I have not. And you know, I'm on the internet every day, all day. I'm like skewing through things. You know, I repost stuff. Not one. I have not seen one Black person, even in the crazies of the Republicans and the MAGAs. Not one Black person has said,
No,
"I want them to stay with us."
we don't need them. I mean, the actuality, we don't need them. You know, like, I always have to go back to my upbringing, being born in Tuskegee, Alabama, which, you know, it was founded by free Black slaves. Yes, there were white people who ran businesses there, but everything else was just blackety black, as they said. There was no white kid in school, even in the early 70s. I didn't have any white classmates, no white teachers. There was one white school downtown called Tuskegee Public. And when they went to integrate that school, they all left and they built an academy down the road from my grandmother's house. So therefore was still none in this school with the kids, right? I doubt if I have some great nieces down there. They probably still don't have any white classmates down there. So it is never, I mean, I think it survived because of the efforts of the founders of Tuskegee Institute, at the time now Tuskegee University. I think that's why that particular town survived. And plus, there was no body of water near us big enough to put us underwater either.
There you go.
You know, and DC has a similar story. There was a community of 375 Black homes in DC, what we call west of the park, which is right off of Wisconsin Avenue, which is now one of our most affluent communities, right? It was 375 homes. They took the homes by eminent domain. They created a park.
As they do.
They created a park, and then they were still called junior high schools. And the junior high school, which I ended up being an assistant principal in right before I retired. The only thing they left of that community was this small school called the Road School. So this small school that had 2 levels in it, and maybe at the most, it didn't even have 10 classrooms in it. That's where the Black kids, that's where the Black children in the community went to school. They had pictures of it, everything. We had pictures of it displayed in the school till our school got so big, they had to take the pictures down and make room for other things. But those were there. And as an educator, as an administrator, I made sure that the students who came, I was in 7th grade, I made sure that the students who were in the 7th grade English class, because they did Warriors Don't Cry, which is about the Little Rock Nine, I made sure that those teachers included in that curriculum for that book, and I went to monitor that the history of that environment, what happened to the community, what that school started out as an all-white junior high school. They tore down the community, make an all-white junior high school and a park in DC. 375 homes.
Well, it happened in New York. I mean, that's why we have the BQE, the Long Island Expressway, all those places where, a lot of places where Black people live, or they were called Black prevention. For instance, like you see that the Long Island, what do you call it? The Long Island Expressway, when you get further out to Long Island, they have the archways over
No,
the
that's
over the roadway.
Southern State
Southern
Parkway.
State? Is it Southern State?
Southern State
Southern
and
State
Northern,
Parkway.
yeah. So they have lower clearances so that people couldn't migrate out further west on the island.
They couldn't bring buses out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's still there today. I mean, the infrastructure you can't really change. I
Racism.
mean, you could if you wanted to, but they have chosen not to. All right, so I want to switch
Yes.
subjects a little because I mentioned this
And the
a
last one,
while
Lisa
ago.
says the JFK
Okay.
Airport was a Black community. Yep, at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I had made mention, I believe it was either last week, about TikTok becoming a US exclusive app starting September. So I got some more information from Resist Rise Up movement on Instagram. They did a couple carousel spreads. So the new TikTok is a tool of surveillance. I'm just going to read a few of the things.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, a Trump-linked company, Oracle, will be working they've worked with the Heritage Foundation, building a closed-off platform for just Americans with an algorithm that they alone control. So let's read this. What's happening in September? A brand new TikTok app only for the US will launch. It's called M2, and it won't be anything like the app you know. Why is this happening? Congress passed a law forcing TikTok to split from China. So now TikTok is creating a US only version with its own algorithm, services, moderation rules, and owners. Who's taking control of M2? US approved firms like Oracle are stepping in. That sounds neutral, but it's not. Oracle helped build the far right's Project 2025 database, the one planning to purge the federal government. Oracle plus Heritage Foundation equals red flag. Oracle reportedly contracted to help the Heritage Foundation that thousands of MAGA aligned staffers for a second Trump term. That is not neutral tech, that is political, that's the political machine. A state-controlled algorithm. And if Oracle and MAGA linked donors control apps algorithm, who decides what you see, what gets buried, and what voices get silenced? You won't even know what's missing. The new app cuts off from the rest of the world. So you won't be able to see other TikTokers outside of the US. It's a closed system. The new app cuts you off from the rest of the world. No international creators,
so what good is it?
No global news, no outside opinions, just a curated US feed shaped by whoever owns the algorithm. So like that's the sum of it. You can go and read. There are a few more pages to it, but basically that's what's going to be happening. They're calling it M2. It's going to launch in September. So anyone that lives in the United States will not be able to use TikTok because it's an outside system. M2 is a closed loop system that is controlled, and the algorithm is built for just the US. And who is controlling it? Oracle, who has money in the Heritage Foundation.
And everything.
Well, we knew also that what's his name, the gentleman from that was he was part of the Trump administration. I forgot his name. He's filthy rich. He's a billionaire, and he was set out to buy TikTok. He was supposed to buy TikTok because they wanted to make it part of MAGA. So it's still happening. It's just other people are buying it, or maybe he's still a partner. I mean, there may be a bunch of buyers in this. I don't think one company is buying TikTok.
It's not just this one thing. The whole Skydance Paramount thing, that is all controlled by MAGA people. And now they have a system in place where they're going to be monitoring all all of the programming,
PBS.
all of the corporate offices. If there's any shape or sense of DEI or any type of just people being normal, they're gonna cut that shit out
Monitoring.
real quick.
Everything, yeah, everything's getting monitored. And
See, I
if
find
you
that
think
so
this
odd,
is not
though.
this, what do you?
Because, I
Okay.
mean, well, okay. So here's the deal. So, like, if you're a Star Trek fan, Star Trek is on Paramount,
They're gonna
right?
start canceling.
And
They're still
then
gonna,
I got to
they're gonna be
ask myself,
canceling
like,
a
so
lot of
do
this
you just
stuff.
get rid of Star Trek because they have been doing that kind of stuff for like
Listen,
decades?
Star Trek, RuPaul's Drag Race,
I mean,
all
all
of
of that
these
stuff is on there. So do you get rid of everything? So what do
because
you get when you get rid of everything?
it's MTV,
State
it's
TV.
VH1,
it's
all of
just
them
like,
CBS.
so it's
They
like,
will
are you
listen.
in
Yes, they'll
business?
do
I
it.
mean, is it going to be like one of those Hallmark Channel things where it's all, Candace, what's her name?
It's gonna be
Candace
worse
Berry,
than
whatever her name
Fox.
is, silly ass.
It's going to be worse than
So,
Fox.
I mean, like, so what do you have for entertainment?
They're
It's like
shooting
you are finding
themselves in the foot.
your own death wish here.
You
Yeah,
don't.
they're,
One
I
at a
mean,
time.
they're
One at
shooting
a time.
themselves in the
One at a
foot.
time. One at a time.
No, I
So,
agree with
but
one.
I
They're
get
shooting
what
themselves in
you're
the
saying.
foot.
Yes. But what is happening is this is what is called state television. You already have a Fox. Fox is their state television. You have News Nation, state television. You have whatever the OSD or OC, whatever the other channel, their state television. Then you have all of the little stations around the country that have been bought up by Murdoch. So those are state televisions. And
Yeah, but
now you are going to have the CBS for
That
yeah, but
wasn't
here's
my
the
question,
problem
though.
with that, Ron. Despite all that stuff, what we think is being run as state-run stations, the one thing that they're forgetting is all these networks and these big businesses, they run off of ads. When companies start pulling their ads, they can't make money, they can't sustain, and they can't stay on the air. So there's going to be an inflection and breaking point where they're going to realize that, oh shit, we didn't think this all the way through.
Yeah,
But what
that
about
was
It's gonna
so funny
happen.
because,
television
Star Trek has always been, I mean, it's sci-fi, right? And we tend to use sci-fi to talk about social issues and other ills because we don't have the words to articulate, or we're just that, I don't know, whatever. So if you say that these things are woke, okay, so what do you have left? Because you take out all the entertainment, which means you're not getting advertising. People aren't watching your show when this stuff is subscription based. So what do you have left? Like, exactly what do you? I'm thinking about that. Like, who's watching it if you take away everything that is currently there today? That was my question. It doesn't make sense to me.
But
It doesn't make money sense.
Dr. Taji
Don't
says,
make dollars.
Dr. Taji says exactly. Chris, media has been a commercial enterprise since the beginning, and they have not figured out a way to monetize beyond ads. They don't have the money to keep all that going, and this is part of it. You just saw all the spinoffs of all these different TV shows that are not getting any viewerships anyway. So what they're doing is, when you have state television, the state will begin to pay for it. That's why you're getting rid of NPR. That's why you're getting rid of PBS. That's why you're getting anything that is for the people. State television will be ran by the states. They will get funding from the FCC. They will get funding because it's already set up. If you're a Christian nationalist, they just throw off the nationalist TV station, you will have those kind of programmings. But they will get rid of. The whole purpose is to, within their minds, to sanitize what people are viewing in America. The Christian right is so far beyond. They're like, just think, if you could put it, we all think back to Handmaid's Tales. Everything is controlled. And you're not going to be able to look at programs. You're not going to be able to see programs. All that stuff is going to be gone.
But may I add one more thing? I have one more question. So we already know that people have cut the cable on cable, right? So that's happened. And a lot of things are now subscription, which is still by choice. And then you have what's left is like some of your free entertainment. So at a certain point, I don't mean like you can take CBS and Paramount Plus, what have you. And I get that those shows may find homes other places, but it's not like a lot of folks are already watching, like they're not watching TV as is. You know, so I keep going back to I get the whole state media thing and blah, blah funding and whatever. But I'm thinking long term, it's just not a sustainable model because we are not living in the 1950s. People don't watch a lot of TV real time. They watch things on demand. And if they can't get it here, they would go put it out for themselves on some other way of getting it out. Now, if you take over the internet, then maybe you got a chance of doing something, but you can take a channel. It doesn't stop other stuff that's happening though. Does that make sense? Like, are you?
Yeah.
It makes logical sense, right? But when you think about their ultimate goal,
sense.
And when you think about the ultimate goal
goal
is to turn this into an authoritarian controlled country.
Mhm.
Yes.
Then the biggest things they do is control communication. That's one of the big things they do. They control access to information. And if you think about the players in even social media, Meta, all those people, they're already going along with so much, right? They're already censoring.
Mhm.
Oh, those words you may put dumb and dumber in there. Well, you know, that may violate the guidelines of the community. Why would that violate the guidelines of the community? So they're already controlling that, right? They're already limiting things. So they don't, at the end of the day, the people at the top don't care. All they want is to have control. All they want to try to do is control the thought processes of those people who are still the lemons who are still following them. That's what they want to do. And so therefore they start working on media. And I've said that includes newspapers. That Rupert Murdoch group has infiltrated, those extremists have infiltrated every one of those news outlets. That includes the Washington Post here in DC. So they've all been infiltrated. Just Jeff Bezos need him. He's a billionaire. He doesn't really need them, but he wants to stay where he is and to get more. So they don't care. So they censor what's in they've changed the format of the paper. They censor people and what they can say. We have one of the columnists here. She changed the whole format of how she does her column, and now she just talks about all of this. And she's a white woman in the area.
You bring up a point.
Information out there.
You're bringing up a point that kind of like starts to piss me off a little bit. Not you, but so this whole Rupert Murdoch and like what he's doing now, like putting out quote unquote the truth about what's going on with Trump and Epstein. Let me tell you something. This is a pissing match between billionaires who've got money.
Yes.
Oh no, you know what? They wanted to get control. They want to put Trump in the office so that he can kind of oversee. But now they realize that Trump is not smart. He's not intelligent. He's not a healthy man. Now they want him out. What are they now? They're trying to take back control by, they have all this information on him and they're going to put it out there. But here's the thing. All these people have information on one another and they're just going to sit there and self-implode along each other. Look at Elon and him. And then, of course, once they fall, it's, I didn't really know him. He wasn't a good friend. I didn't know anything about him. Like, sir, all of the footage and all the text messages and the videos say something completely different. So you can sit there and lie all you want with your catheter attached and your paint on your hand. We see right through you, okay?
Well, the whole point is, if I may interject here, is that these, the Murdochs, for instance, the Murdochs and the Bezos, all these people, Bezos and all these folks, they also see the writing on the wall. They see that Trump is not going to live for much long. He's not. When I say that, he's not going to live a long time. If he, the most this man will live is probably 20 years, if that's the case. If he's
don't say that.
Almost
don't say that.
Yeah.
Almost August. 20 days.
But people,
August.
And like someone mentioned yesterday on one of the news reports, they said if they're talking about his vein problem and made it public, there's something more worse that they're not saying. Because with Trump, they don't ever mention about his health. Nothing about his health. We've been waiting for his health records since before the first
2015.
They said if they have let this out the bag, meaning they say, okay, we're going to share this, but there's a whole nother something happening. And if you look at the videotapes, just between January and how he looks now, he has fallen apart. He is falling apart. The
Of course, if
writing
you
is
burn
on
his
the
soul.
wall, and the rich people say, wait a minute, when he's gone, we still have to have the followers. We got to have the followers. We still got to have our people buying our products, buying what we sell, and they're pulling back. Murdoch is no stupid person. Now, one thing you can say, he's not stupid. He's saying, wait a minute, Trump is not going to be here too long. Let's step back. Elon, where is Elon?
Ain't nobody
Where
heard from him
is
about
the
2
man?
weeks.
You don't hear anything. He got all his data. He got all his information. He is somewhere sipping tea, doing whatever he's doing, or causing havoc somewhere. Maybe he's trying to get to Mars again. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they all know the writing is on the wall. The Heritage and the Federalist Society, they have already accomplished their goals. They don't need Trump any longer. They don't need him. The laws have passed. 46% of Project 25 has been accomplished already. They said by December, Project 25 will be totally complete. And they're working on the other books that they have. So this is the writing is, as the Russians say, Trump is a useful fool. That's the saying in Russia. Use him until you can't use him any longer. He only was there for them because he didn't want to go to jail.
Like a
He
$2 hoe.
submitted to their authority so he would not have to go to jail.
Right.
And,
so did
and I'm
Elon.
telling you, the
Elon
writing's on the wall. He's not going to be around for a long time.
So I'll go back
Just
to
saying.
something I said before when he was elected. I don't think the
August
intention.
12th.
I don't think the intention was ever for him to finish the 4 years. If you think
Exactly.
about the fact that they're
Exactly.
exposed, he didn't just all of a sudden get sick. He didn't all of a sudden have
Yes.
He's had a condition. They just never.
He's had
He told,
conditions for
and
years.
as they said, the doctor said they dictated to them what to say, and of course, you have
Yes.
doctor-patient confidentiality. So you say what the patient say. So I still believe that as he gets quote unquote sicker, they're gonna look at him as being either he's gonna need to step down or they're gonna have to say he's incapable of continuing in the role of president and invoke the 25th Amendment of the Constitution.
Yes.
And have him removed from office.
They're going to do it.
And then they will elevate.
That's why they picked Vance.
They will elevate the poster child for the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 into the presidency. So as we watch it unfold, because they'll start letting him fall. They'll start letting him fail.
Yes.
Because their ultimate goal,
yes.
He has fulfilled his.
He has a pawn in a bigger scheme.
Right. Mm-hmm. He's fulfilled his usefulness for that top 1% of white men in America. He's fulfilled that.
He's given them what they need to move forward.
Absolutely. And then the more and more you think about what they have given them as far as the American public is concerned. You have Palantir who is going to collect all the data, and they got built deep into Social Security to get information and data. They have all of these organizations that are taking over media outlets. So they have what they need. So because him and the Supreme Court justices that are in place, the 6, giving away everything else, and we have a dysfunctional legislative branch in the House and the Senate. So they have everything in place that they need.
Yep.
So they no longer need him.
A useful fool.
That's what I say. A useful fool. But he used them and they used him. And now he's already signed the bill into law. They don't need him any longer. And they got a couple of little strangling things that they want to do. But at the end of the year, by the end of the year, this man is not going to be necessary. They already have, Trump 28 That's a fallacy. That's just like, he's not gonna, he may not even be around for 2028. Just saying.
I'm gonna say one last thing to people. People who see this, we have to realize where the power is. The power is within the people.
Yes.
If we sit back and wait and watch and see where it's headed, as they're already trying to see how it goes in Florida and any place else in Miami, to see how it is to say there are no elections. You can get to 2026 and they create some kind of issue and say, oh, we're going to have to put off elections. They're already trying to get
election,
asking people, asking electoral people over elections in different states to have access to their machines. They're already asking that question.
Yes.
Republican Colorado said that's too much.
I read that.
So they said, no, that's too much. So they're already doing that. So that's where people have to understand the power. And it annoys me when you hear people post and talk about, well, Elon Musk say he's going to primary people out. No, the only people that can really primary somebody else out, unless they have totally rigged all the machines, are people. Elon Musk cannot primary somebody out. Donald Trump can't primary you out. People can. And it's up to people to figure out how you want to live in this country. And if you want to live in this country, that's we have to decide as people.
Well, that's it, y'all. That is it. That is it. We are useful smarts here. Not fools, but smarts. And that's where we are. I mean, this is where the country is. This is where people need to think about it. I hope people are waking up to it, but they need to vote. They need to be out in the streets. They got to do it all. They got to do it all. People have to be involved. This is still we the people. We the people, in order to came together to form a more perfect union. So let's do that. Guys,
Texas, get out there. Texas, come on out there and get these people. Come on, rile up Texas. It's up this.
Oh, yes. You see what they're doing in Texas. Texas, Lord have mercy, Texas. Gwendolyn, speaking of Texas,
let's not.
Where can people find you?
Do you got anything going?
Do you got anything going
on? For tomorrow.
Yes, we got tomorrow. Trend Watch Thursday. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But Gwendolyn, do you have anything going on this week that people should put on their calendar?
Well, you know what? I'm going to go lighthearted this Friday because we had the most amazing scientist last Friday. We're talking about your inner child's playlist. We're going to talk about music.
Okay.
And what show is that?
Yes.
What show is that?
Girl.
Does that show have a title?
Yes, it has a title, Ron Foster.
But they didn't hear it. You didn't say it in the beginning.
I said, girl,
you didn't say it
in the beginning. I mean, like,
I'm
gonna get you a hearing aid. I'm gonna get you a hearing aid.
The right ear is it's always having problems anyway.
If you have a Costco membership, you can get a test.
Chris, do you have anything going on this week?
Yeah, I'm hanging out at the pool.
Chris,
I'm hanging out at the pool.
And Elise, are you doing anything in art? Anything happening this week?
We're gonna celebrate my husband's 80th birthday over the weekend. So
happy birthday.
My focus is on that.
Tell him I said happy birthday. Nice. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah. And man, okay. And we're less than 98 days. Bryson says, we are less than 98 days until election day. Let's make it happen. All the seats are up for to be changed. Let's do it. Let's get all the cruddy people out of office, even if they're Democrats.
Now he's talking about local elections, local and state elections this year, November. There are hundreds of thousands of local and state seats up for election that people.
For this year. That's right. I'm sorry, my bad. For this year, yes.
Yes. I think he's talking about local elections.
Yes, this year.
Local and state.
Yes, he is. Thank you. Thank you for that clarity. And Derek says, good morning, all. All is well in California. Unfortunately, this was karmic debt for Russia. Yes, they had the earthquake. They had a tsunami as well last night. So that was crazy. Anyway, so guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I so appreciate Gwendolyn and Chris and Elise joining me on this platform, Touch Base Daily, as we come to you together, and we always got something to talk about. I hope you learned something today, but I hope you got, get your minds thinking about some of the stuff that we talked about. Some of those are good subjects. Those are good subjects. Later, we're out. Have a good day. Hump day. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.